Rodriguez survives with an improbable shot by De'Erica Hamby.
Nobody wants to go home. Nothing is going to be easy.
This is going to be a huge game.
Make sure you plug into each other.
Copper, full speed ahead.
I'm going to go take it. I'm going to go take it.
Connecticut sign on the ropes.
Turner puts it in.
Good job, Bree.
Frustrated Las Vegas Aces. Electric in Arizona.
Now you got to walk while I win, win, win.
We welcome you to ESPN's coverage of the WNBA playoffs presented by Google. Tonight in Chicago, Illinois, it's Game 4 of this best-of-5 semifinal series. The 6-seed Chicago Sky, a win away from punching their ticket to the finals, a 2-1 lead over top-seeded Connecticut. Candace Parker brought home to Chicago to do just this. Kahleah Copper shining, her star continuing to blossom. Meanwhile, what does the MVP, Jonquel Jones, have in store for Connecticut? Later on tonight, it'll be the Aces looking to stave off elimination against the Mercury. That game starting around 10 Eastern here on ESPN. So we welcome you courtside. Hey, everybody, Ryan Rucco alongside the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. So happy to be with you for this semifinal Game 4. What a series it's been. I mean, these first 3 games have just been incredible. Let's remind you of how we got to this point. Game 1, a double overtime contest. Drama down the stretch. A playoff record, 18 assists from Courtney Vandersloot, and a Chicago win. Game 2, big-time play from Alyssa Thomas in the fourth quarter. Huge threes from the Connecticut guards. And a Sun 11-point victory to even up the series before 16 lead changes in Game 3. And a couple golden opportunities in the final seconds missed by Connecticut, with Chicago holding on to an 86-83 win and taking a 2-1 series edge. So as we look ahead to Game 4 now tonight, Rebecca, and in the front court, Jonquel Jones, Candace Parker opposing each other. What stands out most to you?
Candace Parker, it's the reason she came here in the offseason, was to lead Chicago to an opportunity at the WNBA Finals. And Jonquel Jones draws so much defensive attention. She's going to have to make the right decision, when to look to score, when to pass it out.
Some breaking news a little while ago regarding Connecticut that Holly Rowe is going to fill us in on.
Well, guys, this is a big deal for the Connecticut Sun. Their starting guard, Breon January, is out for this game. That last-second layup that she missed, she went up awkwardly and has injured her knee and her ankle. This is a huge deal because of what she brings to this team. Defensively, she is a lockdown defender. Kyla Charles will get the start in her place. She's a bigger, stronger, athletic guard who brings rebounding, good defense, and she can also shoot the three.
First playoff start for Kyla Charles. She has 11 career regular season starts. It has been an incredibly competitive, closely played first 3 games, and Game 4 is underway. Rebecca, I want to give you a chance. The loss of January, what does that mean for Connecticut?
She's one of the few players, along with wnba, who has championship experience. From when she was with the Phoenix Mercury, she's won a title there. She got a young buck in instead, in her place.
Vandersloot buries the corner 3, and a good start for the Sky in front of their hometown fans. Vandersloot had another double-digit assist game in Game 3. Here's Jones, out to Thomas, unable to hit from 3, and the strong side rebound, Stevens.
Connecticut went over that first offensive possession in their shoot-around. Jonquel Jones is going to continue to demand double teams or 1.5 players on her. Her guards will be open. They have to make those shots, Ryan.
And Kurt Miller talked about how he thinks Jonquel Jones has been making the right decision. She's just not getting the opportunity to take many shots because of the attention that she's getting. As a 3-second violation is called defensively against Connecticut. Happy birthday to Kurt Miller, the 2021 Coach of the Year. He shares a birthday with a couple people I know, including the woman to my right. Happy birthday to you, partner.
Thank you, Ryan. Happy birthday to your dad. Happy birthday to my son Thomas, to Sylvia Fowles.
Good day. Birthdays around here.
Good day.
4-0 lead here for Chicago. Quigley right back to her wife, Courtney Vandersloot, and then thrown out of bounds. You can see Courtney animatedly communicating with Allie Quigley, and that was something she joked about with us before the start of this series. She said, oh, I yell at her every single game. She said, nobody likes to because she's so sweet, but in the most endearing way, I do. Here's Bonner. Coming off a big game for herself. Shot clock fading. Bonner has to put it up. Was able to slink her way into good position and bank it home.
Yeah, they're going to need her ability to create shots off the dribble because of the way Chicago is loading up defensively in the paint, bringing help from the weak side.
Vandersloot, another three, is good. Vandersloot has not called her number as often the last couple games, but she's starting that way here in game 4. Connecticut had a 5-on-4 for a moment. They were unable to take advantage. Here's Bree Jones flipping it up and off. Jonquel can't get to it. Gang rebounding from Chicago.
That's key. That's absolutely vital for Chicago to not give up second chances to Connecticut.
Copper hops into a jumper, and Connecticut needs a timeout. A 9-2 start for Chicago.
Aaliyah Copper has been tremendous, and this is where she thrives, out in the open floor, making Connecticut pay.
ESPN's coverage of the WNBA playoffs is presented by Google, official WNBA changemaker and proud advocate of women in sports. And in part by Taco Bell. And AT&T 5G, fast, reliable, and secure.
Well, you're witnessing a breakout star in the making. Aaliyah Copper has been fantastic this season, leading the Sky in scoring, but it's her Philly roots that help drive her on the court.
I think I have to flip the switch, you know. Off the court, I'm probably the best teammate on the team. I'll do anything for anybody, you know. I'll pick you up, I'll get you food, I'll buy you cake. But I think it's important to have that balance. You know, when I'm on the court, I'm totally different. You know, I'm Philly Ka on the court. So, I have to be there in order for us to get wins.
Philly Ka is no joke. She is so strong. She brings out that North Philly background, and she has been dominating on defense for the Chicago Sky.
I mean, yeah, Holly, we were talking about it with James Wade. Wow, Kurt Miller gets a technical foul here. He was irate that there was no foul called on this last turnover from Connecticut, and some early frustration from the Sun head coach.
Turnovers are important, and Connecticut trying to get the ball into Jonquel Jones, and I don't think there was a foul there. But I think it's good for him to, you know, show some life and show some energy and show some animation on the sideline, because he needs that from his team.
Yeah, Connecticut's Sun emphasized at the end of their shoot-around today the first quarter. That was one of their final 3 points of emphasis, and Kurt Miller talked to us about how we haven't played well in the first quarter, something Tawana Bonner mentioned to us as well. We have not come out and played well in the first quarter yet in this series, and again, they're in a 10-2 hole early in the first.
Even game 2, which they ended up coming back to win, they started that game down 11-0.
Copper looked like she got fouled, followed it up, sets up Parker, out of 3.
Chicago is so good and has so many weapons on the offensive end. If you want to have a chance, you have to keep them off the glass.
A 13-2 start for Chicago as Jasmine Thomas goes in for the tough finish. You know, just to finish that thought, we were talking about Aaliyah Copper, and James Wade was just talking about her as a two-way guard. And kind of going through it, I mean, she really is now a premier two-way guard in this league, as Parker gets bumped and will shoot 2.
Kyla Charles got her when she was coming over to help, and you know, we talked about Kyla Charles being in the starting lineup now. She's defending Allie Quigley. Allie Quigley might come off more screens than any other guard in the league, and she might set more screens than any other guard in the league. It is a real challenge to defend her.
That was something Kurt Miller pointed out to us as well, the impact of the Allie Quigley screens. And the role it has played in this series thus far. Bree Jones will check out. Alyssa Thomas into the game for Connecticut. Just her 6th game back from returning after tearing her Achilles, a 9-month rehab, and has now become a huge factor for this Connecticut Sun team in the playoffs.
Watch where Allie Quigley is on the help side playing defense. She is just going to be in the paint, ready to clog things up.
Alyssa Thomas can't finish. Jones and Bonner were both there. Another chance here for the Sun. Alyssa Thomas spins out of the pass, bodies in, can't finish. The follow is good, plus the foul. A persistent effort there from Alyssa Thomas.
And that's what Alyssa Thomas brings to the floor. She brings energy and she brings physicality. She is an absolute bully when she gets inside the paint. Misses the first time. Gets it up now, a chance for a 3-point play. She is energy and toughness personified.
Quigley called for the foul there. You see the last 2 games from Alyssa Thomas as she hits the free throw. I think remarkably, in 4th quarters from Alyssa Thomas in this series, she's shooting 61%, has 26 points. Connecticut, as a team, just 36 on 34% shooting in the 4th quarters. Vandersloot gets denied. Jones, and a shot clock violation here. And a good defensive stand from Connecticut.
Great defensive possession because Chicago did a good job switching sides of the floor. They set screens. Connecticut fought through them. They challenged once they got beat by a step defensively. Remember, in the regular season, Connecticut was the best defensive team in the league. And there have been times during this series where that hasn't been the case, but that was a terrific possession.
Here is Thomas. That pass knocked away by Copper. And it'll stay with Connecticut. There's something Candace Parker emphasized to Holly Rowe right at the start of the playoffs was the activity of Kalia Copper and how key that was for both her, meaning Candace, and Kalia to bring consistent activity on the defensive end, saying that's the engine of the team.
What's remarkable about it is Copper has the same energy in the 4th quarter that she does in the 1st. She's tireless.
Jasmine Thomas, nice footwork, just couldn't finish it, and Parker able to snare the rebound. Oh, no look, Parker to Stevens. The dime from CP3.
Chicago is long, and their long players run the floor. That was a great job by Stevens to point and let her know where she wanted the pass.
Bonner was looking to lean into contact. Didn't get that or the bucket, and now in transition, Copper hops into another. Chicago wants to play with pace and misses like Bonner's on the other end. Spring breaks like that.
75%. Chicago shooting 75% so far.
18-7 lead for the Sky. Jasmine Thomas gets to the block and unable to hit. 4 to shoot. Jones, the pull-up is good. A much-needed bucket for Jonquel Jones, who had missed her last 10 shots outside the paint in this series.
And early in that possession, though, Jasmine Thomas needs to use the screen.
Here's Jonquel, back to AT. Jasmine Thomas off on a 3 and a slow start from the floor for Jasmine Thomas. 1 for 5 now from the field. Oh, nobody guarded Parker, and then Bonner came over to Fowler, and free throws coming for Candace Parker.
Just miscommunication that time defensively for the Connecticut Sun, and you can't do that against Candace Parker or the Chicago Sky because they will make you pay.
An 18-9 Chicago lead. Some confusion between the two teams as to whether or not there's a timeout right now. There's not, because of the early timeout that Connecticut called. So everybody just got a water break. I saw you did as well, Rebecca.
Mine's a coffee break.
Oh, okay, very nice.
How's your hot water today?
It's good.
Keeping it off your suit?
I am. Holly?
Well, guys, I talked to Candace Parker before the game about what it would take to close out this series and move on to the WNBA Finals tonight. And she said, don't reinvent yourself. be who you are in this moment, but you have to make the plays when they matter. And rebounding, she's done a great job of that rebounding so far tonight, and I just love that. Don't reinvent yourself. Be who you've been.
That's one of the things James Wade said has been key for this team. He said, we know who we are. And when you know who you are, you're a dangerous team. And this is a team that gets out in transition. They share the basketball. They've got weapons at every position.
Said we love playing for each other in regard to that sharing of the basketball. So that's why we have an assist percentage over 70%, which is tops in the league, as Jones insists her way in for 2 and a chance for 3 at the line.
I like that Jonquil Jones is being aggressive offensively, and it's not just getting the ball on the block and waiting for the double to come. We saw her hit the jumper the last time down. Here she's forcing the action, going through Candace Parker to get the and 1.
Jones 2 for 2 from the floor thus far. You see her incredible numbers in the regular season, a little more muted so far in the semifinals. In fact, games 2 and 3 were 2 of her top 3 lowest scoring games of the season.
But she's going to get other people open by the number of defenders she's going to draw. Just up to her teammates to make the shots.
Vandersloot gives it up. Copper alone. Misses the 3, far too strong. Long board, Jasmine Thomas, a chance here for Connecticut. Heidemann left alone is dangerous from deep.
So when Kyla Charles comes out, you get smaller and less physical, but you also get more dangerous from the perimeter.
Heidemann on the season, shot it at 40% from 3. Here comes Jones. Connecticut is close to within 5. Jones to the rack for 2. An aggressive Jonquil Jones here in the first. 8-0 Sun run.
You see now why Jonquil Jones at 6'6" can be a problem. The MVP's got handles. She's looking to lead her team to a game 5.
Let's take a look at the upcoming WNBA playoff schedule. Next up on ESPN, Game 4 in Phoenix, the Mercury and the Aces. Mercury a 2-1 series lead. Then Friday on ESPN2, we'll see Game 5s if necessary in these series. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. Any Game 4 thoughts?
I just can't wait to see how Vegas responds. They lose by 26 in Game 2, by 27 in Game 3. This is a team that looked like they were a shoo-in for the championship series, you know, latter part of the season.
Copper, nice strong take to end the 8-0 Connecticut run. 6 points in the first quarter for Kalia Copper.
So strong and powerful on the drive.
We were out in Phoenix for Game 3. The atmosphere was absolutely electric. Alyssa Thomas, oh, what a spin! And had something to say afterwards.
Great job by Jonquil Jones to tell her teammate Alyssa Thomas to get into the post, and Diamond DeShields is dangerous when she's out in transition like that.
DeShields, such an X factor off the bench for Chicago. Nice look, Jonquil Jones to a wide open AT for 2.
Yeah, they read that coverage perfectly when Chicago doubled out and no one was on the backside to help.
Well, Jones and Thomas putting on a show as Vandersloot gets free for the leg. 8 points for Courtney Vandersloot in this first quarter. Here's Heidemann. 5-point Chicago lead. Alyssa Thomas stops, dishes. Good recovery there from Vandersloot. And 9 on the shot clock for Connecticut.
Yeah, Sloop probably just saved 3 there, because if Thomas had been able to make the extra pass to Heidemann, that was going up.
Chicago a 2-1 series edge in this best-of-5 semifinals. Have not been to the finals since 2014 when they were swept by Phoenix. Jones, 1 to shoot, has to put it up, does. Can't get it to go. Looked like it was close to being late on the release. Nonetheless, here comes Chicago. Vandersloot another 3. You bet! Courtney Vandersloot on fire, and her wife loving it on the bench.
That's the second time that Jasmine Thomas has gone under on the screen. You can't do that anymore with Sloop.
Alyssa Thomas tried to force it. Jasmine cleaning it up and gets the whistle. A fortunate finish to a sloppy possession for Connecticut.
You're seeing Azurá Stevens right there, and she's a big part of the reason why Jonquil Jones has, you know, been bottled up a little bit at times in this series. Azurá Stevens is one of the few players in the league who has the same dimensions as Jonquil Jones. 6'6", long arms, can match up.
You know, you saw the numbers there from Jasmine Thomas struggling from the floor in game 3, and the difference in wins and losses in this series, it has been stark for Thomas. In the 2 losses, she's 3 for 19 from the floor, 1 for 9 from 3. In the 1 win Connecticut had, she was 5 of 10 from the floor and 2 of 3 from 3.
Vitally important to Connecticut's success because of the way, the attention that's coming on the inside. Courtney Vandersloot, you can't do anything with her here today.
Rebecca, how about the balance she struck in these playoffs of knowing when to defer and when to call her own
It's
number?
why she's one of the best point guards in the WNBA right now. She's got the right feel and can read the defense.
She has the last 7 for Chicago. Alyssa Thomas, Stevens gobbles it up. 7-second difference game in shot clock. Vandersloot racing, dishing. DeShields got fouled and will shoot 2. And that's the 2nd personal on DeWanna Bonner.
DeShields and Copper on the floor together, so difficult to defend because both are wings with great athletic ability, quick first step, can put pressure on you by getting to the bucket.
DeShields misses the first. Chicago was a team that, you know, many thought could be in championship contention before the season. They went just 16-16 in the regular season. And towards the end of the regular season, James Wade talked about after their game against Washington coming together and really figuring out as a team who they are. And he said once you saw that click, he knew they'd be dangerous. And wow, have they been dangerous in these playoffs. Heidemann gets a whistle. And free throws coming here for Connecticut.
Well, Azurá Stevens certainly had a clean block up top. There was the foul on Courtney Vandersloot down below.
Yes. So Vandersloot looked like she was maybe tugging on the hip area a little bit, perhaps. And so the first foul on Vandersloot sends Heidemann to the line. She hits the first. Chicago has shot 69% from the field in this opening quarter. Jonquil Jones, the putback off the missed free throw. And that'll do it for the first quarter. 13 points from Courtney Vandersloot. A 6-point Chicago lead after 1.
Chicago is dangerous with all the weapons they have. Not only those who can score, but those who can deliver. Candace Parker to Azurá Stevens, and then Courtney Vandersloot has been phenomenal so far in this game.
Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of the WNBA playoffs presented by Google. Here with Jonquil Jones, the MVP. And you guys got out to a slow start. How did you go on that run and start to gain some momentum here?
Just understanding that it's a game of runs. We can't get down on ourselves. This is a win or go home situation, so we got to keep playing.
You guys were predicated on defense all season long. They're shooting too high of a percentage for this defense. What has to change?
We just got to find ways to make Sloot more uncomfortable. I feel like she's getting whatever she wants right now, so we have to change the game plan.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to send doubles to Courtney Vandersloot off of on-ball screens or what, but you certainly now have to try to take the ball out of her hands.
Well, how much of Courtney Vandersloot's comfort we saw in the first quarter as she is on the bench to start the second. Loose ball here. Heidemann scrapes it up. Jones, extra pass. Thomas on the pull-up, can't bank it in, and collected by Chicago. How much of it has to do with no Breon January?
Well, Breon January wouldn't be her matchup. That would be Jasmine Thomas. So I think it's just right now they were fighting through screens, and you might see Connecticut just do things different schematically to get the ball out of her hands.
Might see Brown in with her on the bench as DeShields hits the three. See January cheering on her team. Good start for Diamond DeShields, making poised decisions off the bench thus far for Chicago. Lead back to 9 for the Sky. Game 4 this best of 5 semifinals. Sky a win away from heading to the finals as Brianna Jones puts it in. We saw this in game 3. Brown running the point rather than Dana Evans when Courtney Vandersloot gets a blow.
A little more size and a little bit more experience.
Quigley lost the handle for a moment. Shot clock fading. She heaves and hits.
Chicago's just making everything right now. Connecticut has more field goal attempts because they've gotten to the offensive glass, turned the ball over less, but Chicago's so efficient.
Bree Jones on the follow, sticks it home. Chicago is 6 of 8 from 3. They're shooting 72% from the floor. DeShields with 5 to shoot. DeShields on the attack, sets up Dufall, short. Rebound hawked down by Jasmine Thomas. Thomas, nice find. Bree Jones gets fouled by Diamond DeShields, and 2 free throws coming for Jones after an incredible display of athleticism, albeit with a foul.
Bree Jones reads this well, and she slips the screen, but as has been happening all series, the help side defense is there. Diamond DeShields. That kind of looked like a clean block ride.
A fresh new look, a whole new feel, and a brand new app. Download the new WNBA app to connect with other fans live during the playoffs with new interactive features available throughout the season. Want to remind you, there's another Game 4 coming up after this one between Chicago and Connecticut tonight. It'll be Vegas and Phoenix. Phoenix a 2-1 series lead in the best of 5 semis. Last 6 Connecticut points belong to Brianna Jones. Jasmine Thomas picking the pocket of Vandersloot. What a steal from Thomas, who lays it in on the other end, plus the foul. Outstanding sequence from Jasmine Thomas.
Jasmine Thomas has pride, and on the defensive end, she knows what Courtney Vandersloot's been able to do, and she out-battles her here for the basketball. Takes it in and trying to get her team fired up.
And that is a key second foul on Courtney Vandersloot. Holly?
Well, guys, James Wade was hot after that. Courtney Vandersloot is saying, how did you call the foul on that end on Jazz when you didn't call the foul on her riding me all the way up the floor? James Wade came out, was arguing, and he has just been warned by the official. That is his first warning. Kurt Miller already has a tech in this game.
Thank you, Holly. A 7-0 Connecticut run here. Here comes Alyssa Thomas. Jasmine drives, kicks. Charles, not the same threat from 3 as January. Jones can't finish. And Kyla Charles has it stolen underneath.
Connecticut, though, doing a really good job getting to the offensive glass. They just haven't been able to convert the way they'd like.
Dufall, no chance, as Jones was there to alter it. Here's Alyssa in transition. Barrels into Diamond DeShields, who gets called for the foul. And then Alyssa Thomas is going to get a T for getting up and saying a little something to Diamond DeShields. Wow, Michael Price gave Alyssa Thomas absolutely no room there.
Zero.
My goodness, give her a moment, Michael.
Here she comes, and you know, she's a bull in a china shop. She lowers her shoulder. That call could have gone either way. But when she gets up,
I mean, she's pulled back, and already that's a T?
she just looks at her. You can feel the tensions rising, and I'm sure the officials can as well, and they want to keep this thing under control, but I don't think she deserved a technical, Rye.
If she would have stood over her for probably even half a beat longer and said something, yeah, but she turned very quickly. In a semifinal game, that is not a lot of rope at all. Look at this. Gets up. That's a T. Now, who knows exactly what was said, if there was something before that. But that seems tough in a game like this.
Yeah.
The foul on DeShields is her second. Personal was called against her. She goes to the bench. Thomas, nice hands. Parker on the steal. 2-on-1. Copper the finish. Oh, Candace Parker contributing in so many ways. Already 6 points, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 rebounds for the two-time MVP, Candace Parker. Charles, the runner, no. Parker, the rebound. Pushing pace. Vandersloot gives it back. In the corner, Stevens connects on a 3. And just like that, it's back to 9.
7 of 10 from 3. Chicago on fire.
Wow, that is going to be number 3 on Courtney Vandersloot. Called for the trip as Jasmine Thomas hit the hardwood. Wow, this is a critical call in this game. Woo, that's tough. Well, Courtney Vandersloot just picked up her 3rd foul. Here was her 2nd. It didn't happen there on the loose ball, but right here, it doesn't look like Courtney makes contact with Jasmine Thomas. That was her 2nd call. Holly told us about how upset she was, and then here is the 3rd. And the 2nd, I think, was phantom. The 3rd is a tough one as well, Rebecca.
Yeah.
And Vandersloot's going to stay on the floor with 3 fouls here in the first half.
So you got to go right at her.
Alyssa Thomas throws it away. That was the #1 key for Kurt Miller talking to him before the game. Said we cannot supplement a juggernaut offense with turnovers. They're not defendable. That was a dead ball turnover, but still, that was a big issue for Connecticut in Game 3, with Chicago scoring 23 points off 17 Connecticut turnovers.
Well, this has certainly been a juggernaut of an offense so far for the Sky.
Stevens avoids the dig and almost flips it in. Jonquel Jones, the strong rebound, and then whacked Jasmine Thomas in the face. Jonquel able to get it up the floor. Here's Charles. Not going to take the 3. Instead, Parker there for the rejection.
You don't have the same spacing without Breon January on the floor.
Quigley being harassed, finds Parker. Copper lays it in with the left hand. Kalia Copper with 10 points now in this first half.
I don't know if anybody on a closeout on the Connecticut Sun can keep her in front of them.
An 8-0 Chicago run and an 11-point lead. Thomas. Jones. Guarded closely by Parker. Bonner back in with 2 fouls. Short on a 3. Vandersloot. It looked like Vandersloot almost boxed out her teammate. He has Ray Stevens there. Almost gave a get off me and then realized it was her. Parker unable to hit. A rare miss from 3 in this game for Chicago. They're 7 for 11. Jasmine Thomas gets the roll off the catch and shoot 3, and that is where she is at her most dangerous offensively. Catch and shoot from the perimeter.
Yes, much more so than off of dribble penetration.
Steal here for Connecticut. Jonquel Jones Euros in and glides it off the glass. What a beautiful finish from Jonquel Jones. 11 points now for the MVP. Stevens a three. Is good. Azurá Stevens with 8 first-half points continues to be a massive factor in this series.
Every player on the floor right now for Chicago is a threat from the three-point line.
And Stevens going to get hit with a foul there, her first, and free throws coming for Jasmine Thomas. 9-point Chicago lead. Sky trying to punch their ticket to the finals. I thank you very much, ladies. We shall see. Connecticut had closed to within 3 with 7:23 left, but Chicago's had an answer every time Connecticut has tried to go on a little run. And go back to what Carolyn just said and James Wade talked to us about before the series and throughout the series, and again this morning, Rebecca, the way his team shares the basketball. So we play for each other. You know, we don't have people going one-on-one. And 13 assists on 17 made field goals thus far for the Sky.
And coming into this series, Kurt Miller said, you know, most teams you play, you can invite somebody to shoot the ball. You can't invite anyone on Chicago to shoot the ball because they'll take that invitation, say thank you, and make the three.
Dana Evans now in for Vandersloot. Vandersloot finally going to the bench with those 3 fouls. Here is Parker. She's been incredible in this first half. Unable to finish there. 6 assists for Parker. 2 steals, a block, 3 rebounds in the first half to go with 6 points. Jones pulled the string. Bonner able to save. Over to us. Go ahead and grab that, partner. Yeah, nice. You still got it. I don't know. How many assists did you have in your career, Rebecca?
I had plenty of assists.
Okay, all right.
Not a single charge taken, but plenty of assists.
You were just saving the face for TV. That's all.
Right.
49-41, Chicago in front. 2:05 to go in this first half. Game 4, this best-of-5 semi. Sky a 2-1 series lead. Evans sets herself up from 3. Can't hit. Good box out there from Bree Jones to clear Bonner. Low pass. Jones unable to hit from 3. I mean, that's a little thing, Rebecca, but Jones is set up and doesn't get a pass that's on target.
Yeah. I mean, you just see the way Chicago loads up defensively on the strong side of the floor.
Copper can't bunny hop it in. Follows it up. Doesn't get the roll, but does get the whistle. And Kalia Copper will shoot 2.
Well, guys, this is so fun to see Kalia Copper get in her bag. She is so good going to the rim like that. You know, James Wade had her in camp a couple of years ago, and he's like, she's playing better and outplaying some of our high draft picks. So when she became a free agent, he begged her, he's like, we see a future for you. We know you can be great here. And now, just a few years later, she's seeing the vision that he had, and she's actually making it come into a reality. And guys, she's going to get paid in this offseason. I think she is one of the great stories in the WNBA this year of how she has come into her own.
She's become a real emotional catalyst for her team. She gets the crowd going in games. He talked about how everything she does affects winning on both ends of the floor.
She also, in that bite we heard earlier, talked about how she's the best teammate because she said, hey, you need cake? I'll go get you cake.
That's the kind of teammate you need.
That's right. Alyssa Thomas couldn't push it in over Stevens. Again, the length of Azurá Stevens. Copper, 11 points in this first half. Boy, the ball just hops for Chicago. Parker pops it in. Chicago shooting a sizzling 58% from the floor in this first half against the team that was by far and away the best defensive team in the WNBA this season, the Connecticut Sun. Jasmine Thomas, oh no. Bree Jones saves it right to Chicago. 2-for-1 opportunity. Copper into the paint. Flips it in. Kalia Copper.
And you see her hype going back down the floor, getting the crowd involved.
Largest lead in the game for the Sky. Three to shoot. Heidemann weaving, one to shoot, and a violation from a disjointed Connecticut Sun. Connecticut took a 14-game winning streak into this series. They had outscored opponents by an average of 15.5 points per game during that stretch. And Chicago has just hit them with a haymaker. Whistle and a timeout taken by the Sky. We'll step aside. 2.6 to go in the first half. 13-point Chicago edge. 6 seconds to go in this first half. And a 13-point Chicago lead. Parker off the inbound, fading, can't hit, and that'll do it. But the Sky take a 13-point lead into the half. They are 1/2 away from punching their ticket to the finals.
Chicago's so good when they move and share the basketball. Kalia Copper off the bounce, so difficult to defend. And then the veteran, the one brought in to try to lead them to the promised land, Candace Parker.
ESPN's coverage of the WNBA playoffs is presented by Google, official WNBA changemaker and proud advocate of women in sports. And in part by American Express. See what you can expect when you're with Amex Platinum.
In Chicago, getting ready to start the second half of Game 4 of these best-of-5 semifinals. The Sky, a 2-1 series lead and a 13-point lead over the top-seeded Connecticut Sun. Ryan Ruocco alongside the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. I mean, Rebecca, Connecticut has the best defense in the WNBA this season, and it seems like they could just do nothing to stop the three-point barrage from the Chicago Sky.
Yeah, Chicago is an offensive juggernaut, especially when they're able to space the floor and have multiple players knock down threes. They're unselfish. They're going to find the open player. In that first half, Chicago 8 of 13 from the three-point line. 5 different players made them from deep. They're spreading out to defense so well, and especially, Ryan, when you couple that with their ability to get out in transition and score quickly, which is when they're so dangerous, they're very difficult to defend. 15 fast break points to go along with those threes.
Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, you talked earlier in this game about Breon January, the starting guard, being out for Connecticut with injury tonight. They started Kyla Charles in that first half, but in the second half, Natisha Heidemann, that's the reason why right there. They need her three-point scoring. They'll give up some size on defense and rebounding, but this is a major change for Kurt Miller to start the second half.
Also interesting to note, Brianna Jones not starting. Alyssa Thomas getting the start here in the second half.
All right, what do you think of those moves?
I think some of it is for energy. In particular, Alyssa Thomas, but yes, you needed another three-point presence out there to spread the floor.
Jones steps into a three and hits. A 6-0 start to the third for Connecticut.
Chicago does such a good job defensively, clogging up the lane, taking away the paint. You need to find a way to pull them out, and you do that by hitting shots from the perimeter.
You know, one thing Kurt Miller showed us in Game 2, he is not afraid to make hard decisions when it comes to sitting his regulars. Shot clock down to 2. Parker has to get it off. It gets blocked, and it's going to be a shot clock violation. And you could not have scripted a better start to the third quarter than Connecticut has penned through these first few possessions.
You would have to think that one of the messages in the locker room from Kurt Miller to his players was that if we just get a little bit closer to their shooters, that they have to cool down. Not many teams can sustain 62% from three-point line.
Chicago has led all game thus far. Jones out of the double, finds Thomas. Can't hit the three. Jonquel went for the putback and got fouled. And Jonquel Jones draws the foul on Azurá Stevens, her second.
And you saw the amount of attention Jonquel Jones drew when she caught the ball in the post. So that reverse out pass is going to be there. That shot is going to be there. Here, get the ball into the post. Double is coming right there. Who's it coming from? The weak side guard out, Courtney Vandersloot.
Looked like maybe Jonquel was going up with it on the putback, but side out of bounds here for Connecticut. Alyssa Thomas rumbles in, couldn't finish, can't get back to it, and a nice save from Vandersloot. Good defense from Parker. Here's Parker with Chicago on the move. Kalia Copper through the lane, tugged at by Bonner, gets it back, and a jump ball is called. Alyssa Thomas getting to it, and Copper and Thomas will jump it up.
Copper's so good when she can get in the paint. She's so quick and explosive. Alyssa Thomas there with the help side defense. And when Connecticut has been smothering this season defensively, it's when they've had that good help side, good rotation, good energy.
4 on the shot clock. Copper gets up to win the tip. Vandersloot gets it off, can't finish it, and Bonner able to collect for Connecticut. Here's Bonner around the Alyssa Thomas screen. Can't hit the jumper. DeWanna Bonner just 1 for 4 from the floor in this game. Vandersloot had 13 points in the first half. All came in the first quarter. Her highest point output yet in this series. Parker able to get a little angle and a nice delivery from Quigley.
That was a perfect delivery. I didn't know if that ball was going to get through, but Parker, great job holding off the defender. Quigley places it perfectly.
Parker now with 10 points to go with 6 assists, 4 rebounds, a couple of blocks, a couple steals. Jonquel Jones off one leg, no.
Really good box out there by Copper.
Copper, quick first move to the reverse, plus the foul. Kalia Copper continues to shine.
Kalia Copper simply does not get tired. That play starts with a box out at one end of the floor, Ryan. Look where she is, and she sprints the floor. She gets down there, runs hard, and then still, with the quick first step, she simply does not get tired.
Wow. 16 points now for Copper. She's 7 of 11 from the floor. And just like that, it's back to 12. After Connecticut had cut it to 7 and had the basketball. Third foul on DeWanna Bonner. Here's Heidemann popping out. Around the AT screen, Parker knocks it away. Loose ball, 3 to shoot. Jones gonna have to put it up. And a travel before she got the chance to. And Candace Parker grimacing a bit, tugging at her right knee, and a little upset that there wasn't a foul on the loose ball called against Connecticut.
How about the defense that Candace Parker has played at times when she's jumped out on the point guards? Almost a pick there. We saw her earlier in the game having a pick on Jazz Thomas. She's working. The veteran is working.
Copper. Deflected by Heidemann. Vandersloot given space into the lane. Can't bank it in. 3 to shoot. Vandersloot alone. You bet. Time out, Connecticut. Chance the Rapper loves it. An 8-0 Chicago run.
Courtney Vandersloot passes the ball, but knows she's gonna get it back. Plenty of time, draining the 3.
ESPN's coverage of the WNBA playoffs is presented by Google, official WNBA changemaker and proud advocate of women in sports. And in part by American Express. See what you can expect when you're with Amex Platinum.
It's time for our most searched, presented by Google. Search is asking who's in the WNBA Finals, spiked over 400% globally since Game 2 of the semifinals. Chicago on the brink of being one of the answers to that. How about Diana Taurasi and the Phoenix Mercury? Will they punch their ticket to the finals? Vegas-Phoenix, Game 4. Mercury a 2-1 series lead. That's coming up following the conclusion of our game here on ESPN. A 15-point Chicago lead, an 8-0 run, and a foul here against Jones. And Stevens in pain after the offensive foul as Jonquel Jones hit Stevens up high on the swim move.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they may take a look at this. Candace Parker is trying to encourage that.
Certainly more than incidental contact. That was the right call to call the offensive foul. I don't think there's any reason to upgrade it to a flagrant.
The court is an offensive foul on Jonquel Jones, and it is under review for a possible upgrade.
Remember, the language you need for a foul to be upgraded to a flagrant is contact that is deemed unnecessary. That's for a flagrant penalty 1. Flagrant penalty 2 is unnecessary and excessive. This is definitely not a penalty 2. I don't know if they're going to say anything about that's unnecessary that would make it a flagrant 1.
Unnecessary meaning player seeks out the opponent and makes contact unnecessarily. I don't think she was seeking her out. Definitely foul. I don't think it's a flagrant.
After review, the ruling on the court is confirmed. It's an offensive foul on Jonquel Jones.
Oh, look at you. 1 for 1 today.
All right.
Little birthday magic.
How about that? But as I like to say, no, they're 1 for 1.
Yeah, that's right.
We know we're right, Ryan. Oh, poor Azare.
And Azare Stevens has been such a massive player in this series. Her length has been critical, something James Wade and Kurt Miller have both talked about to us. And so we'll see when she might be able to get back on the floor. Kickball's going to keep it here. All right, Holly's got an update for us.
Well, guys, they've taken Azare Stevens back into the tunnel, and they are looking at her face, particularly the side of her nose and her right cheekbone. She keeps shaking her head as if to shake some of the cobwebs off. Really took a substantial blow to that cheek.
How about using the iPhone as a flashlight there to get a better look? Parker gives it up. 6 to shoot. Dolson in. Parker step back 3 is good. Sometimes it's just your night. And everybody who's put on a Sky uniform can feel that way thus far. An 11-0 run. Heidemann connects. Lethal from 3. 3 attempts, 3 makes from deep for Natisha Heidemann. Chicago 10 for 16 from 3-point range. Quigley can't handle. Nice save by Bonner to keep it alive for Connecticut. Heidemann, another 3 is good. Natisha Heidemann trying to inject life into her team.
And that's why she's in the ball game, because she is a spacer for the Connecticut Sun. You see her there coming off a really good Brianna Jones screen.
Parker puts it on the deck. Nice swipe there from Bonner to get in there and force the steal. Back-to-back nice plays on the defensive end from DeWanna Bonner. And that's going to be an offensive foul against Brianna Jones, called for the illegal screen. That is a turnover at the exact wrong time for the Connecticut Sun.
Brianna Jones coming down to set the big screen. Yeah, she's still leaning. Her feet are wider than her shoulders. That's where Heidemann's got to wait 1 second longer for Bree Jones to get her feet set. It's always the guard's fault, Ryan.
I was going to go there, but I'm glad you did instead. Heidemann comes up with a steal. Jones trailing. Heidemann. Bonner through the lane. Can't slink it in. Brianna Jones tied up, forced it up, couldn't finish. 3-on-2 here. Vandersloot at 3. Not that time. Rebound, Jonquel Jones. And now Heidemann will slow it down a little bit. 12-point game. Jonquel a 3. She got it. A 9-0 response from Connecticut after facing their largest deficit of the series, 18. 3 threes, 2 from Heidemann, 1 from Jones, and some resuscitation for the Sun. But Chicago, Rebecca, has built this lead thanks in large part to the all-around contributions of Candace Parker.
And that's what she brings to the game. Afterwards, when you look at a stat sheet, her fingerprints are all over Chicago Sky's efforts on both ends of the floor. She's been active with her hands. She's cut to the paint. She's scored. That's such a tough 3 over Jonquel Jones. She impacts every area of the game.
Now that 3 from Parker was the last bucket from Chicago. You see the incredible line thus far for Candace. 9 straight points now here from Connecticut. What has stood out about this run from the Sun, and anything sustainable here to get them back in the game?
Well, you know, the obvious. They're able to make the 3-point shots. Part of that, too, has been the insertion of Brianna Jones back in the lineup. Alyssa Thomas came out. They're using her to set some screens. Natisha Heidemann has been good with her decision-making. And they're not only getting stops on the defensive end, but they're not letting Chicago get to the offensive glass. But it's important. When you make shots, then Chicago can't get out in transition. They can't run, and that's where they get such an incredible flow.
Connecticut hit just 2 threes in the first half. They were 2 for 7. They are 5 for 6 thus far in this third quarter. Jonquel Jones up to 17 points.
And this run has also happened with Azrae Stevens off the floor.
Stevens back on the bench now as Heidemann comes up with a steal. Vandersloot turning it over. Heidemann all the way in, gets blocked by Vandersloot. What a defensive play by Vandersloot after the miscue. In the corner, Vandersloot does not call her own number. Zings a pass, and DeShields couldn't handle it. Another turnover from Vandersloot. Jones. Oh, and she traveled. Another untimely turnover from the Sun, their 10th of the game. That was Kurt Miller's #1 key to us before the action tonight. Copper motors in, and good help D there from Brianna Jones to come up with the rejection. Second team all defense this year.
She's a very good help side defender and very aware of what is happening, and big here. We talked about it. The run is gone for Connecticut with Azrae Stevens off the floor. She's back.
Spelling Candace Parker. 4 on the shot clock. Vandersloot looking in. Floats it back for Dolson. 2 to shoot. Good hands by Bree Jones, and a shot clock violation. Connecticut with more good defense here, and good things have happened for the Sun since Bree Jones came in for Alyssa Thomas. Twelve turnovers now for the Sky. Here is Heidemann, the fiance of Jasmine Thomas. Tried to keep her foot down, and a turnover there from Heidemann. And now grimacing as she gets help to her feet. And we'll have to see if Heidemann is all right. The Sun are already down Breon January, one of their starting guards, with an ankle injury.
So you're dribbling in, and you think she's going to try to pass out. Duanabana not quite open
on another turnover. I mean, back and forth they go with the turnovers. That's Vandersloot's third turnover in 4 possessions. Here's Jones. Jonquel short. Rebound flag down by Azurá Stevens. Chicago has 8 turnovers in this third quarter. Dolson dishes out. DeShields can't hit the 3. For as well as the Sun have played defensively in this quarter, they have not closed the gap as much as they may have needed to.
Yeah, made up very little ground.
And again, another Sun turnover, unable to cash in after a defensive stop. That's now 12 turnovers from Connecticut. And Connecticut has 6 in the quarter. This has been a key thing for Connecticut. When they turn it over under 13 times,
they're much more successful than when they don't.
yes. Quigley dipping in. Here is Thomas. Jonquel in the paint, able to squeeze it in between bodies, make it a 7-point game. And 13 is the number Kurt Miller uses as sort of his key barometer. Well, Connecticut won so much in the regular season that, yeah, it was still a really good winning percentage when they had 13. Dolson, catch, fire, no. Jonquel Jones the box out. Another chance here for Connecticut. Here's Jasmine Thomas, the pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound, batted around, taken by Chicago. Questionable shot selection there from Jasmine Thomas, with only a 2-second difference game in shot clock. Now the shot clock is turned off. Quigley gets fouled, and Connecticut had a foul to give. An 11-0 Connecticut run after an 11-0 Chicago run. Quigley sets herself up. No. And that'll do it for the third. Connecticut closes the quarter on an 11-0 run. What was an 18-point deficit is down to 7. Fourth quarter coming up.
Welcome back to the WNBA playoffs on ESPN, presented by Google. Here with Courtney Vandersloot. You got off to such a hot start. How have they made things more difficult for you personally in the second half here?
You know, they started being really aggressive, and unfortunately, I just kind of handed them the ball. But, you know, if we clean that up, I think we're in good shape.
You are a quarter away from the finals. What will it take to close this out?
We got to take care of the ball, sustain their run. You know, they made a good run on us on this half, or this quarter, so sustain that and get back in transition, what we do best.
Thank you so much.
Well, Courtney Vandersloot had 4 turnovers in that third quarter as Parker blows the bunny. Able to get it back, though, and keep it alive for Chicago. And a whistle here is going to go against the Sun. But how about Courtney Vandersloot? 8 turnovers in this game for one of the premier point guards in the world.
Yeah, uncharacteristic. And she came out of this game early when she was looking for scoring, because that's what was there for her, and then started looking a little bit more to pass. Connecticut amped up their defensive pressure on her.
Connecticut ended that third quarter on an 11-0 run, although they did have a mountain of turnovers amidst that run. Stevens, catch, fire, and hit from 3. Azurá Stevens now 3 for 3 from downtown.
James Wade said it after game 3. We're seeing Azurá Stevens grow up before our eyes. She has been phenomenal in the playoffs.
Alyssa Thomas back in for Connecticut. Jonquel Jones getting a breather. Heidemann on the bench as well, as Charles can't hit the jumper. Here comes Parker pushing pace. Stevens again. No. splits the D, lost the handle, threw it to no one.
For Connecticut to win this game, they're going to have to get Natisha Heidemann back in the game at some point after she's had a bit of rest. And the same with Jonquil Jones. Those are the two players who led the charge for them offensively in the third quarter.
And in this series, there's just been a dramatic difference in the guard play on the offensive end, with a big advantage for Chicago. Parker sheds Thomas, the footwork and the fillet.
Alyssa Thomas, normally a very good defender. She has had struggles at moments one-on-one today with Candace Parker.
15 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists for Parker. Courtney Vandersloot had the second ever playoff triple-double in game 1 of this series. Cheryl Swoops, the owner of the other. Shot clock about to expire, and it does. A shot clock violation, and Jonquil Jones and Natisha Heidemann going to get right back in this game for Kurt Miller.
You gotta love a crowd who appreciates some defense, Ryan. The crowd here on their feet.
Thinking back to the '85 Bears. Quigley cuts, can't finish. Vandersloot found her. Here comes Alyssa Thomas. Bonner has been quiet. 2 bodies fell for Chicago. Bonner gets fouled and will shoot a pair. Bonner just 1 of 5 from the floor, is about to shoot her first free throws of the game.
DeWanna Bonner with 22 points in game 3. Certainly has the potential to come alive, has deep 3 range, can take you off the bounce. Chicago's done a really nice job with her defensively tonight.
Taking a look at the upcoming WNBA playoff schedule. Next up on ESPN, Las Vegas at Phoenix, Game 4, Mercury. A 2-1 series lead. Then Friday on ESPN2, if necessary, we'll have a couple of Game 5s. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. Bonner hits both free throws. 10-point Chicago lead. Under 7:20 to go in the 4th. Sky looking to head back to the finals for the first time since 2014. Looking to become just the 3rd team ever to go to the finals without a winning record in the regular season, as Vandersloot pops in another triple.
She just kind of hid behind the Candace Parker screen to hit the deep 3.
5 of 6 from downtown as Jasmine Thomas again misfires, calling her own number. 3 for 12 now from the floor. Copper cradles and gets swatted by Jones. Jonquil on the rejection. Courtney Vandersloot is tied a career high, regular season or playoffs, with 5 made threes in this game. Shot clock under 5 to Shields. Good D there from Bonner. Here comes Connecticut. Heidemann. Step back 3. That one halfway down before it popped out. She had hit her first 4 looks from downtown. Parker in the corner. No. Jones able to swipe away the rebound, and then Stevens nearly took him. Here comes Jonquel through the ledge. Jonquel Jones, what a finish.
She almost looked like she was going to finish that with a dunk.
It looked like she was. We see it before games frequently with Jonquel. Copper pops in, couldn't finish it, got it back. Out of bounds off of whose foot? Off of Copper's. It's Connecticut ball. Timeout on the floor. Chicago leading by 11. 5:22 away from heading to the finals.
ESPN's coverage of the WNBA playoffs is presented by Google. Google, proud sponsor of tonight's closed captioning.
Jesse Jackson here to watch the Sky in Game 4 of these semifinals. Kobe White showing support, the Bulls guard. How about Holly Rowe's favorite, Chance the Rapper? Yes, they shared a nice moment at the half. Don't you worry, Holly got her picture. And Scottie Pippen, the 6-time NBA champion, is in the building as well.
I would say Chance got his picture.
I agree with you.
Holly Rowe.
Isn't Chance big in the Russian Lobo household as well?
I don't know about Lobo, but yes, he is very big in the Lobo Russian household.
Steve Lebeau, our outstanding statistician. I'm sure Chance is big in his house as well. Listens to him as he goes on his beach walks in Hollywood, Florida. An 11-point Chicago lead. Shot clock again expires on Connecticut, and this time out of a timeout.
Chicago's been disruptive defensively. They've been communicating with one another. They've been helping one another, making things difficult every time down in the quarter court for Connecticut.
Here's Vandersloot. Oh, nice find. DeShields to Dufall.
And that starts with the hard hedge by Jonquel Jones. Because of the way Courtney Vandersloot has been shooting the ball, you have to give her attention. And then the weak side help was not there on the pass.
20 assists on 27 made field goals for Chicago. Jonquel Jones backing in, fading away, no. These fans starting to smell it. Six to shoot. Parker nearly lost the handle. 2 to shoot. Vandersloot gives it up. DeShields didn't get it off in time. A violation against Chicago as Quigley and Stevens will check in for Dufall and DeShields. 3:53 to go. The top-seeded Connecticut Sun on the brink of elimination. No top seed has been ousted before the finals since the new playoff format came to pass in 2016. Jones, too tall, 5 to shoot. Jasmine Thomas trying to create, gets it off, can't hit. Rebound Chicago, and another stop from the Sky defense. Parker into the paint. Fading and hitting off the window. Candace Parker gives Chicago a 15-point lead.
Candace Parker came home for a reason, and it was to bring a championship to her hometown. And look at all the little things she's doing. Yes, she's near a triple-double tonight on the floor, but it's the leadership, it's the communication, it's the basketball IQ. Courtney Vandersloot said she was the voice that we've been missing, and here she is on the cusp of bringing the finals back to her city.
The incredible energy she's brought today on both ends of the floor, and when it comes down to it, when her team needs a bucket, Holly, she can go ahead and get him a bucket.
17 points. points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals for Parker. A foul here against Stevens. 2:54 to go in the fourth. Want to remind you, Mercury Aces, Game 4 coming up next. Asia Wilson and the Aces facing elimination. Diana Taurasi and the Mercury trying to head to the finals in Game 4. Here's Heidemann around the screen from Jones. And another Connecticut turnover.
Incredible team defense. Incredible team defense off of the screen. Chicago tries to step out and trap, but they've got help side rotation behind them. They have played phenomenal team defense all game long, but in particular, Ryan, the fourth quarter.
They've held Connecticut to just 4 points in this fourth quarter. Brianna Jones, that's going to be a foul on Stevens. Outstanding defensive effort there from Bree Jones.
It's good to see Bree Jones back in the game for Connecticut because she's been impactful. She's been able to draw a foul inside as she's posting up there. She plays good defense. Deceptively better defender than you would expect from a player with her frame. Quick hands, quick feet.
Under 2.5 minutes to go in Game 4. Connecticut down 15. Bonner nearly lost it. Taking a lot of time, has to force it up. Jonquel Jones able to clean it up. She has 23 points.
Jonquel Jones had quiet games in Game 2 and 3. But man, she's competing here, Ryan. She is absolutely competing.
23 and 10 for the MVP. Her team in a 13-point hole with under 2 minutes to go in Game 4. Copper, a 3. No.
Great job, though, Chicago, all quarter long, taking time off the shot clock, every possession, understanding the lead they have.
Connecticut needs points. They need them in a hurry. Hide them in. Connecticut taking a lot of time here. Jones fading away. No. Rebound. Would have been Parker. Instead, it's a foul on Brianna Jones. Connecticut had one to give. 1:26 left in this fourth. They'll wind it down to 125. Hey, Friday, we will bring you Game 5s if they're necessary. Both games on ESPN2. If both series end tonight, we will bring you Game 1 of the finals Friday night. So either way, you're going to have WNBA playoff basketball on Friday night. Copper swoops in, couldn't finish. Got a whistle. Free throws coming for Copper. I mean, Rebecca with 1:10 left and a 13-point deficit that the top-seeded Sun are facing. It is not impossible, but they're on the brink. What do you think Connecticut is going to be left to think about most when they do the autopsy on this series?
The fact that they ran into the one matchup that was probably more difficult than any in the league for them to face in this round of the playoffs. Because of the way Connecticut plays defensively and the way they can load one side of the floor, they go against a team that has scorers at every position.
Kurt Miller knew it. He told us he was concerned about the matchup with Chicago, and the Sky have looked like world beaters since these playoffs began. Coming up next, Asia Wilson, the 2020 MVP. How does she and the Aces respond after losing back-to-back lopsided games against the Mercury? Las Vegas facing elimination.
You heard Carolyn Peck at halftime talking about how Vegas can get Asia Wilson more involved, and you would have to think that's going to be a priority for them tonight in Game 4. Brianna Turner was spectacular for Phoenix in that Game 3.
Crowd on its feet here in Chicago. Candace Parker under 70 seconds away from helping lead the hometown team to the finals as Stevens is called for a 5th foul, and free throws coming here from Jones.
That's about as clean as a block can get. We talked about it earlier, though. I think Azrae Stevens, the only player with the same dimensions as Jonquel Jones in the WNBA. 6'6", long arms. She's given her fits at times this series.
Stevens tonight, 11 points, 7 rebounds. Parker, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Copper, 18 points, 6 rebounds. Vandersloot, 19 points.
This is such a long Chicago team, and James Wade was telling us before the game, that's by design. We built our team this way by design. You can see what kind of problems it's given teams, in particular Connecticut, in this series.
Said they looked at the contending teams in the league, their front courts, and knew if they wanted to have a chance, they had to build with that length. Jones the rebound. It's all cosmetic at this point. 42 seconds remaining. Jasmine Thomas. No. 3 for 14 now for Thomas. Chicago basketball. And let's see the reaction for the Sky starters here. James Wade told us when the Sky got Candace Parker, we're not knocking on the screen door anymore when it comes to contending. We're knocking on the real door. That's what she does for our team. Well, yeah, I'd say those knocks have gotten a little louder. Seconds to go. Crowd already in celebration mode as Heidemann hits another 3. And that will do it. The Chicago Sky are headed to the 2021 WNBA Finals. The top-seeded Connecticut Sun. And Candace Parker comes and flags down Jonquel Jones, as well as Kurt Miller. Great respect between those outstanding players. And now Jonquel will come back and show love for the rest of the Sky as well. The MVP gives a big hug to James Wade after an incredible performance from the Chicago Sky. And Candace Parker back in Chicago, taking her hometown team to the finals. She's with Holly Rupp.
So the little girl that grows up in Naperville, here you are bringing the finals back to your hometown. How does this wash over you right now?
It means so much. I mean, looking up in the stands and seeing familiar faces, and I grew up playing in front of these people, and it really is emotional. I mean, I know we're not done yet. We don't want it to be done yet, but you sometimes have to stop and think and really, really appreciate this moment.
I think how cool this is. You grew up watching the Bulls. Scottie Pippen is courtside watching the hoop right now. How do you digest that?
Man, we got Chance the Rapper here. I mean, I knew Chicago showed up for sports, but this has been very special. I mean, this team is special. We've battled through adversity. We've believed in each other. I want to always bring honor to Pat. In these moments, I always remember her.
Inside your shoe, it says for Pat. You rebounded, so she would be proud of you tonight, Candace, but it's more about this team. Tell me about this team. The chemistry is real and you can feel it.
You know what's crazy? I sent Allie and Fluke a text message from January when I decided to come home, and I said, like, we're right there. Like, we have it right there. Like, we can realize our dreams. And it's been special, man, especially playing against Connecticut. They beat us last year in LA. They beat this team the same thing. And then in 2019, they beat us again. So, I mean, this is a milestone. Kudos to them. JJ, amazing player. Alyssa Thomas battling back, so we beat a really good team.
Go enjoy your teammates. We'll see you in the final, Candace Parker.
Thank you, Holly.
Well, clearly a lot of emotion there for Candace Parker, returning home to Chicago and doing exactly what this team wanted. She's the leader they need, and what a cast the Sky have. I mean, this is a robust group of talent with an outstanding head coach.
And a team that's really come together ever since their loss to Washington a few weeks ago. And James Wade said, I have this confidence because it's like I have a big secret, because he knows what this team can do when they're all on the same page.
We'll see whether or not it's the Aces or the Mercury who the Sky will face in the finals. But no matter what, it is going to be a difficult matchup for that team out west. The Chicago Sky take down the top-seeded Connecticut Sun in 4 games. A 79-69 final here tonight in Game 4. Coming up next, the WNBA playoffs on ESPN continue with Game 4 between the Aces and the Mercury. For our producer, Lori Privatera, our director, Ken Dennis, Holly Rowe, and the Hall of Famer, Rebecca Lobo, I'm Ryan Rucco. Stay tuned after these messages. We will get you out to Phoenix, Arizona.